welcome back to All Things Pop Pop. Today I'm going to review the Gods and Monsters Chronicles episodes 1, 2, and 3. Now, this is a brand new alternate storyline where we have Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman as we've never seen them before. So Batman is the vampire, Superman is the son of Zod, and Wonder Woman is a new god. So here we're having these characters in a completely different form, yet the reason why I totally buy this is because it's by Bruce Timm, and he's the amazing person that brought us DC animated series that I grew up with and loved, such as Batman and Superman the animated series, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, etc. So he is enough reason why anyone should check this out. And if you are a fan of the DC TV universe, the animated universe, I think that you would greatly enjoy this. Yes, the characters are different, but I think you'll find them quite interesting. So first we'll start with the first episode, and that was Batman's episode. Now, it started off really slowly, and I didn't like that pretty much like a minute and a half was wasted. These episodes are only about 5 to 6 minutes long, so his was just really boring in the beginning, and I was like, wow, for the first episode, this is not a way to, like, you know, entice me to want to watch the movie, which is what this is trying to promote. Now, towards the end, then you start seeing, like, wow, this is not the Batman we're used to. And we start off with Batman's investigating this kind of warehouse. He opens a fridge, and there's, like, dead bodies in it. And then he finds like this room filled with like jack-in-the-boxes and like creepy ass clowns like come and like pop out of it, and one of them in particular really freaked me out because like the movements of the body was like really realistic. So I was like, oh, that looks like it has weight on it and it looks like a real person. But then one of the boxes has a girl in it, a live girl, and she's like, help me, this crazy person is like, you know, trying to kill me. And then guess who the crazy person is? It's Harley fucking Quinn. So she's bonkers as ever, and she's like in her underwear, like attacking them. They run into this room where there's just like flies over dead bodies, and they're all positioned as like a family. There's a man and a wife and kids, and they're sitting down like in this totally normal setting, and they're dead, and they're apparently Harley's family, her substitute family that she's created for herself. So you see, not only does she has like frozen bodies in her fridge, but like she's manipulating them as puppets. Like, how sick is she? And then at the end, of course, she's trying to kill Batman with a chainsaw, and it backfires on her and she gets wounded, which was awesome. I was like, yes, just the right amount of blood. This is exactly the type of violence I need in my, you know, cartoons. Yes. So Harley gets called by Batman, and she's like, okay, fine, I know when I've lost. Okay, take me to jail. And Batman's like, jail? And he fucking has fangs, and he bites her right there, and then you just hear her fucking scream, and you're like, wow, okay, Batman is just like killing people. So we have a brand new Batman who's like willing to kill and suck the blood from his enemies, but is that only limited to his enemies? Because I don't know, the look in his face was kind of sinister, and I wasn't sure if like he's just fucking crazy and he does that to anyone. So I'm really interested in this type of Batman. It's a Batman that we haven't seen, because Batman's always restraining himself. Yes, I feel like he enjoys beating people up and like kind of torturing them, but he's not gonna kill them. And here it seemed like he killed Harley. I may be wrong on this, but I don't think he's just gonna, you know, drain her to the brink of death and like let her live. I think he's gonna kill her right there, and that's really interesting to see if what kind of Batman this is going to be. So that was the first episode in the Chronicle, and it was called Twisted. So that was Batman versus Harley. In the second episode, we have Superman versus Brainiac, and that episode is called Bomb. Now we start off with the city is like getting destroyed, and we don't know what's going on, but we know that in this universe, Amanda Waller is not the head of Suicide Squad. She's the goddamn fucking president of the United States. And the people that are surrounding her, like as her cabinet, are fucking villains. So at this point, we find out that this is Brainiac that's destroying the city, and he was created to stop Superman. This totally backfired on them. So right now they need Superman to stop it, but they can't reach him. They're like calling the Fortress of Solitude, and they can't contact him. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna drop a nuke on the city, and they're like, well, people are gonna die, but more people will die if they just let this go on. So they make that hard decision. They're about to drop the nuke, and the pilot that's going to make that drop, he gets stopped by Superman, and Superman tells him, give me 5 minutes to solve the issue without having to destroy the city. So Superman does just that, and he walks into like this bubble of power that Brainiac is in. And the Brainiac that we find there is not the Brainiac that I expected for sure. It's a child. So he is a very young boy, and it looks like he doesn't know how to control his powers. And so he's crying, and he's like, I don't know how to make this stop. And Superman's like, you have to figure it out. And he's like, I just don't know. I can't handle this. And there's a moment where Superman tries to console him and tell him, well, I have powers too, and I wasn't sure of them, you know, when I was growing up either. And, you know, I had to learn how to control them, and you can do it too. And the kid's like, this is not happening. I just can't. And Superman's like, if you can't stop it, I will. And the kid's like, do it. And I'm like, did Superman just say, like, stop or I'll kill you? Like, was that his resolution? Like, I couldn't believe it. And then when the baby Brainiac is a baby, he's like, do it. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy. And then Superman does it. You see his eyes light up, and you know he's gonna laser the shit out of this little baby. He's gonna kill him. And we don't see that. We just see the aftermath of Superman holding the dead Brainiac. And that was really sad. Like, I just was not expecting that at all. Like, from the Batman episode, you're like, okay, they're kind of more dangerous. But this, I was completely like blown away. Like, I did not expect that at all. And I mean, with the Batman, I kind of knew he was gonna bite her because I knew that he was a vampire. But here, this Superman is very interesting, and honestly, it brought so many questions for me as a comic book fan, because I've always, you know, especially I think Clark is a punk. I think he's just a fucking punk, and I always wish that he had more, you know, like balls to just do what he has to do and stop these enemies from ever hurting people again. And yes, that means he has to kill them. But this really made me question that, you know, because I've always wanted to see that in these comic book superheroes, and seeing it, I was like, whoa, I was wrong, you know. And this was really intense, and it was such a great episode. I think it's personally the strongest episode of the three. So I really, really enjoyed this. The Superman is like, his morals, like, I'm not gonna say he's immoral, because by any means, like, he did the right thing. Now, at what cost? And that's a question that every hero has to ask themselves. And I think that this short clip, a really short amount of time, these episodes have really been able to like give us a brand new take on characters that we're familiar with, and like really make us question ourselves. Like, Superman, I'm afraid of who I am now, because when I saw that, I'll never be the same. Let's just put it that way. I'll never be the same after the Superman episode. And wow, this episode was amazing. Now, the last episode is Wonder Woman, and this is the final and third episode of the Chronicles. And this one is called Big. And I was interested because, first of all, what kind of Wonder Woman we're gonna have? She looks completely different. And she's like in this weird white suit. She still looks sexy, but she has like this helmet on, like over her face, that, you know, she looks like she can kick ass. And you see the story starts with like Steve Trevor, which we know in the comic books is like her love interest. But he's like on his own mission, and he's getting his ass kicked. He was captured, and then Wonder Woman comes to save him, and they kind of have this banter going on where he tells her, oh, I had this under control, I didn't need you. And she's like, well, you weren't so quick to kick me out last night. And what? I was not expecting that. I was not expecting such a sexual Wonder Woman, but okay. But then the next line, he tells her, you're so much better at listening to orders in the bedroom. And then she's like, well, don't think you're always in control. And then it kind of lost me there, because it stopped being about like the action, and it started being about their like personal life. And honestly, I didn't like this episode very much because of that, because I felt like we had a different take on all the other characters, and then Wonder Woman, what was her differentness? Like, she was only different because she was more sexual. I find that like that was very weak. We had a really interesting Batman, a very, very incredibly like intriguing Superman, and then we have like a Wonder Woman who just is lusty and horny. And there's nothing wrong with being, you know, like comfortable with your sexuality or being openly sexual, but I felt like they were showcasing these characters individually through these episodes. And if this is what they have to say about Wonder Woman, is she interesting at all? I'm gonna argue that no. The episode does get more fun as you see, like, she engages in the fight. Originally Steve Trevor is like, I can handle this, so she's like, fine, go ahead. This huge fucking woman, Giganta, crawls out of this egg that she hatched from and grabs Steve Trevor and like kill him. And finally he's like, help me, which, yeah, you should have, you dumb motherfucker. She has powers, she could fly, she can teleport too, she has a sword, and all you have is, you know, your little gun, and that's it. And so that part was awesome that she came and saved his ass. But then finally she's getting her ass kicked too, and he's like and thinking she's gonna die or whatever. And then she comes to save the day, and at the end he's like, okay, I'm gonna call so and so, which is apparently a woman, and Wonder Woman did not like that. So she, like, you see her eyes narrow, which was, you know, okay, Wonder Woman's jealous. And then she brings him back, pulls him by the belt, snatches his phone and crushes that shit, and then starts kissing him. And he's like, what? We're gonna do this now? And she's like, oh yeah. And they just get down and dirty right there. And then you have, like, Gigantica's face just, like, watching them. I mean, she's dead and she's a robot, but, you know, the point was made. And he's like, oh, am I gonna need a safe word? And that really just shows you, yeah, she's in control, and, you know, she's the aggressor, and she wants him. And that is refreshing. I do like when a woman is, you know, empowered in her, you know, in her sexuality. I didn't like that. For this showcase, I didn't think it was necessary to go that route. I think that they should have showed Wonder Woman unique, and that she's, you know, openly sexual. That's what makes her unique. When you compare that to Superman and Batman's story, it just doesn't hold up. So overall, I did like the Chronicles. I'm excited. I know they're gonna have like a season 2, and it's gonna be more episodes. And when the movie does come out, I am so gonna watch this. So what did you guys think about the episodes? What was your favorite episode? Do you agree or disagree with me on the Wonder Woman episode? So let me know in the comments down below, and thank you again for watching.